All right, good afternoon. TJ Smith, Chief of Media Relations, Baltimore Police Department. Here alongside Deputy Commissioner Dean Palmier, Mr. Marcus Strider Dent, who is the Regional Director of the Guardian Angels, Mr. Guy Richards, who is an actor comedian. I'll give you some more information on him in just a second, and Commissioner Kevin Davis. Of course, Marcus Strider Dent and the Guardian Angels of Baltimore have been an instrumental part of the city of Baltimore and the region, and they've been continuous supporters of the Baltimore Police Department and the Baltimore community. Now, whether you know or remember Guy Richards from Miami Vice, 21 Jump Street, or New York Undercover, some people across the world remember him from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas or Atlantic City, or many of the improvs across the country. He is usually the person that makes everyone laugh. He's even had used his own challenges as part of his stand-up routines. A personal connection brought him here to Baltimore, and that wasn't for comic relief. Guy has spoken privately in serious settings about his battle with bipolar disorder. And today, for the first time, he's going to tell the public as he partners with the Baltimore Guardian Angels and the Baltimore Police Department to bring more awareness to the issue. So with that, I want to introduce Mr. Marcus Strider Dent of the Baltimore Guardian Angels to give us more and introduce Mr. Richards.
First of all, thank you guys for coming and having me, and I want to thank the Baltimore City Police Department, Commissioner Davis, Deputy Commissioner Palmier, for always supporting the Guardian Angels with what it is we do. In July, I had the pleasure of going to Sean Kelly Stop the Bullying campaign program down in West Palm Beach, Florida. Sean Kelly is one of our Guardian Angels down there. And we spoke on domestic violence and bullying. And I had the pleasure to meet Guy Richards, who was also a speaker at that program. And one of the things that he talked about was mental illness. And as Guardian Angels working within the community, we see so many effects of what is where mental illness is a core of behavior problems, where realistically you may look at it as just bad kids or bad adults or whatever, but I think what we miss is that there is something medically wrong and mental illness is real. So we've had the pleasure of talking since July about what it is that the Guardian Angels are trying to do within the community, and we also talk about our work with the police department. And Guy shared some information with me about what his personal life was like, and I'm going to have him come up and talk about that. And I think that we cannot have a better core group of participants and partners to work on this. So, you know, now we're up to the point where we're going to sit down and figure out how we're going to address this and pull the right people in. But I want to have Guy come up and talk about his role, because somebody who has the reputation and skills of Guy, this is extremely important. And Guy Richards.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming, and it's definitely a great honor to be in the company with these gentlemen. And usually I'm not that nervous. You know, I've met a lot of people in my travels, but to be part of their team is definitely an honor for me. My name is Guy Richards, as you know, the son of actor-comedian Sal Richards, and I have bipolar disorder. And my main objective, and I was asked, why did I come to Baltimore? Why are you doing it in Baltimore? And I said, it's because of timing. And timing is everything. I have Access 1 bipolar disorder. I was diagnosed in 2002. This is the first time I will be disclosing my illness in the public's eye. And I am not ashamed of it. I am not afraid of it. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of strength. It takes a lot of family, friends, and networking to stand by you. It's not easy. But the fact of the matter is, the key point of the whole situation, if somebody does have bipolar disorder, it is the doctor that really makes the difference. You can't be diagnosed within one day or a few hours and a sheet and mark off 10 or 15 questions or 20 questions, whatever it may be, and saying, oh, he's got bipolar disorder, here's your script, go ahead, pass it on, go take this. It is not like that. From my experience and my opinion and my lifestyle that I have lived. And it has taken many, many years for me, everybody is different, but to get the right regimen of medications, to understand the difference of behavioral modification, to understand the difference that my world was my world, and I thought my world was reality. and nobody could tell me any different. And I used to punch walls and run through walls and just go totally out of bounds and hate my parents, you know. Excuse me. I love my family. And without them, I would not be standing here today. Without the doctors that I have, Dr. Abby Strauss at Avoca, and I got to thank Dr. Heller also at Avoca. These people stood by me and really got inside of me to understand the differences and knew what direction to go to put me in a state of mind, of a reality state of mind in the real world. My poor family has been through so much, but they never quit. And they always said, no matter how many times you get knocked down, you get up, you don't quit. So I encourage the families and the people that might think or know or some kind of symptom that they have bipolar disorder, please, I encourage you to find the right doctors. I encourage the families to stand by your loved ones, whether it's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, or your best friend. You have to hang in there, because at the end of the tunnel, there is light. There is sense. I am normal today. I was never unnormal. I just had an illness. It did not take my personality away. It did not take who I was away. It only made me to be the man that I am today, and I am so grateful. I am very grateful to learn what I have learned and to pass on the message, and I'm very excited to do a lecture, a presentation out here in Baltimore, and we haven't figured out what the date may be yet. But we're going to do this, and without these gentlemen here, it doesn't happen. Because I was telling my father, I've met these people here, these gentlemen that are so humble, that have compassion and the understanding to know the difference. We need to make a difference, meaning them. They need to make a difference. And I've seen, and I've been in a lot of places, but they mean it. They're selflessness, and they're humble, and they're grateful to be a part of something. So with that, I'm at a point in time in my life, I have no more fear of disclosing what I went through. And my presentation, when we find the date, and it's going to be something, I will tell you that. My parents will be here. But I'm grateful to be alive today. I'm grateful to wake up and put my feet on the ground. And I am definitely grateful to partner up with these gentlemen in Baltimore to show the people it's okay. Everything will be fine. So I encourage you, please take that step. And if you want to say hello to me, talk to me while I'm here. I don't care if you call me 3 o'clock in the morning, so to speak. I'm here for you. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you, gentlemen, because to me, this is an honor to me. It's just a great honor to share my experience for the first time. And these are the right people, the right gentlemen, the right police department, in the right city of Baltimore. And I'm so happy to be in Baltimore. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll take questions in just a second, but I want to introduce the police commissioner and just let you know, and the viewing audience know that's watching live, why this is important. Of course, in police departments, we come upon people with mental illness quite often, and we are continuing to work on ways to better de-escalate those situations and better understand those situations. So Commissioner Kevin Davis is going to come up and discuss a little bit more about that.
Thanks, Chief Smith, and Dean Palmier, Deputy Commissioner, will say a couple words. So thank you, Strider, for introducing us to Guy Richards. It was an honor to meet you.
Likewise.
Spent some time with Guy yesterday and today, and it's just enough time that he's starting to do impersonations of me, which makes me a little bit nervous. Nonetheless, so why Baltimore Police Department? Why Baltimore? Does this make sense? You may be wondering, why is this a press conference involving the police department? So I'll refer you to the Department of Justice investigation and the scathing criticisms of our agency and arguably our profession when it comes to interacting with people who suffer from mental illness and developmental disabilities. We don't do a good job as a profession. We're striving to get better. Oftentimes, folks who suffer from mental illness and dysfunctional disabilities are nameless, faceless people to law enforcement. And it's rare that someone of Guy's stature will step out and put a name and a face with this particular illness. Now, we've had people coming out and disclosing things for years in terms of alcohol abuse, in terms of drug abuse, in terms of domestic violence. Those things have been going on for quite some time, but to step forward and describe challenges with a mental illness, that's significantly more rare in society. So for Guy to do it, and why Baltimore, and I'm still trying to figure out why Baltimore. I'm glad it's Baltimore.
Well, it's because of the Guardian Angels.
And Strider. And then I would probably add that Baltimore is probably not a bad town for second chances. So whether it's a Hall of Fame football player with the Ravens, whether it's an Olympic swimmer, Baltimore has been renowned for second chances for years and for embracing people who have challenges in their lives. So Baltimore is that city. So we're happy, and Guy doesn't know this yet, but we're going to bring Guy in front of our police department, both inside the police academy and in service training, so he can describe. You good with that, Guy?
Oh,
we'll come get you in New York.
That's an honor. Thank you.
So for them to hear from someone like Guy, so when they interact for the first time with someone who's exhibiting behaviors that they've heard about in the police academy, they've experienced from time to time, but being able to define those interactions better. Guy will make the Baltimore Police Department better. So yeah, Guy Richards will make the Baltimore Police Department better because he's going to partner with the Guardian Angels and us and our police officers. Now, most of our police officers don't remember Miami Vice. I remember Miami Vice. We were pretty much the same.
It wasn't a big role, but I was there.
You were there. But so this is an opportunity for us to get better. The Department of Justice report, we're looking to do things innovative to address each and every legitimate criticism within that report, and sometimes we'll be as creative as we can to get to that better place. And this is just one example. So I'll turn it over briefly to the Deputy Commissioner because he's been interacting with Strider nonstop, and the Guardian Angels are making us better.
Thank you. Good afternoon. So a few days ago, Strider reached out to me and let me know that Guy was in town and he wanted to make an announcement in Baltimore. And we met over the weekend, and I briefed the commissioner, and it made sense. It made sense to where the Baltimore Police wants to go in the future with our police department and our community. The commissioner touched on the DOJ as a portion of that, but we've known for several years that behavioral health issues have been very dominant in Baltimore, and we do have a curriculum in our academy that addresses behavioral health issues and how officers interact, but to bring a reality piece to that curriculum is all the better. So the better we can get and train our officers to deal with behavioral health issues, the better police department we will be. We will continue to build community trust as we learn and educate our officers and our community, for that matter, on how to identify these issues and how to react to those issues. Too many times we see instances where officers engage with individuals suffering from behavioral health issues becomes a deadly force situation, and we want to avoid that at all costs. So I can't thank Strider and the Guardian Angels and Guy personally for coming out into Baltimore to make this announcement, to make our police department a better police department and our community a safer community. So thank you.
Thank you.
With that, we'll open it up for any questions.
Can you think of any recent examples of when behavioral issues were a factor in how the officers had to deal with the situation to de-escalate it?
So that's daily, and I've been doing this job for 25 years now, And the amount of interactions our police officers have with people suffering from mental illness and developmental disabilities now is tremendously more prevalent than it was 15, 20, 25 years ago. So America's deinstitutionalization of the mentally ill, and that has had an impact. And you don't have to go far from this building to encounter someone who is severely suffering from mental illness, and it's varying degrees. And I'm not a doctor, and Guy has coped with his challenge in a different way, but a lot of those challenges, particularly with mental illness, at the extreme, result in the homelessness, result in calls for service where a police officer thinks he's responding to a disorderly person or a person in the roadway panhandling, or a person who's apparently vagrant sleeping in front of a commercial establishment, and then it's how do you interact. And I can say our profession, our police department, our profession first does a much better job than we used to, much better. But you can go across this country and identify countless, unfortunately, tragically, countless deadly force scenarios. Even recently in Maryland, where a police-involved shooting has involved someone who has suffered from a mental illness, and that immediate lack of understanding and de-escalation has attributed to an ending that's not favorable.
Sir, in response to the DOJ report and its criticisms about how this department handles these kinds of situations, this is a unique situation. This is a unique presentation today. But is there anything the department has already started or began thinking about in order to correct those or to address those criticisms in the DOJ report? I mean, there's some departments that are well known for doing this the right way. I think Memphis was one for years, and then Dallas too, I believe, right?
Right.
So, I mean,
right.
Are you guys studying best practices in this realm of policing, and how does Baltimore get better from where we are here to where we need to be?
Yep. So Brian and TJ will probably be upset with me for answering your question this way, but we are announcing. He's upset with me every day, but we are announcing a new director of our police academy later this week, and she comes with a host of credentials to include a fellowship at the Police Executive Research Forum, where she spent a significant amount of time studying across the world, not just across this country, but across the world, how agencies and places are getting it right with interactions with the mentally ill, particularly with de-escalation. Now, we sent Major Cherie Briscoe, the commander of our Western District, to Scotland to see how Scotland handles de-escalation. Scotland is just renowned across the world for getting it right. Scotland does it right. So we sent her. She came back and she said, Scotland's great. They de-escalate. They're compassionate. They're empathetic. They slow down, and they do things far differently than American police departments. And then she paused and said, but there are no guns in Scotland. Right? I mean, there are no guns in Scotland. The cops don't even have guns in Scotland, most of them. So it's that proliferation of 300 million firearms in America, which is another press conference, that challenges police with de-escalation, because there's always the probability, particularly in Baltimore, there's always the probability that a gun is involved. And with our state, this is another press conference, with the possession, transportation, carrying of a firearm being a misdemeanor that's barely punishable, that adds to it as well. But we are going to get better, and we're taking the DOJ report very seriously. And this may seem like a kind of unique twist on the DOJ report, but it's part of our response to one of the many things that's included in the report.
Housekeeping question, just to clarify. So today you're announcing, is this a new official partnership with the Guardian Angels? And is it something you sought out after the DOJ report, or is this just something that happened that you were hoping to?
The discussion's been ongoing, and we're bringing in a new training academy director who has particular experiences with de-escalation and strategies to interact with folks suffering from mental illness and developmental disabilities, and significant experience forming crisis intervention teams. So we're bringing this person on as the new civilian director of our police academy. So thanks to Deputy Commissioner Paul Mears' relationship with Strider, we learned that Guy was in town, and he wanted to make this important announcement that we think ties in to what we're trying to do. So a little bit of happenstance, but the happenstance only happened because of the strong relationship between the BPD and the Guardian Angels.
I must have misunderstood.
Yeah.
So it's not like an official partnership.
Well, it is. So Guy's commitment is to not only make his announcement in Baltimore, and I don't want to speak for Guy. You can probably impersonate me.
Yes,
But Guy's commitment, I think, is to not only make his announcement in Baltimore, but to use Baltimore as his platform to bring more awareness to
So it's a
that.
civilian director.
That's right.
Is there a name? I mean,
There is.
But we'll get to that.
He's trying.
We'll get to that.
He's on to the next news story.
Anything else, anybody?
yes, I have one more question. Can we see the impersonation of Kevin Davis?
No, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to pay for that. Yeah.
It's that good.
It would be remiss if, like I mentioned before, why I'm in Baltimore. Sean P. Kelly, when I spoke in Florida, and then I had the pleasure of meeting Marcus Dent, and then he asked me to come out and meet everybody. So I call it timing, and it's meant to be, and the time is right, and that's the way it looks. And I'm proud to be a part and partner up with everybody in the Guardian Angels and yourself. Thank you.
So, all right, if there's not anything else, unless y'all have any other questions related to this, and just understand, we routinely do things differently. 5 years ago in Maryland, we would run across a heroin addict and we would call 911 and we would wait, maybe put him in a recovery position. 5 years later, we're much better as the law enforcement profession, recognizing what a heroin overdose looks like, and we know we can do something about it because many of our law enforcement officers carry Narcan, which was, again, unheard of 5 years ago. Many years ago in my police training, I learned what a diabetic coma looked like, or diabetic reaction, where somebody's pulled off the side of the road, where maybe 30 years ago, that person was automatically drunk. We'll wait for the police to get there or the fire department to get there to treat them. Now we know if that person exhibits signs of a diabetic emergency, their breath smells like sugar. If we have sugar, we can revive that person on the scene. So we've gotten better in understanding and learning mental health, as the commissioner and Mr. Richards had explained. We're getting better as a profession, whereas we move forward in the future, this is going to be second nature, where officers are going to be able to recognize this situation as a mental situation, that they can begin the de-escalation process immediately, where it's just something that had been a foreign concept. And you can ask the question why, but that's been a foreign concept in policing globally, not just in Baltimore, and policing globally. So we've had those phone calls from mothers who tell us that their child hasn't taken their medicine, and the police are the ones that respond. We have to get better at how to react to those scenarios, and that's what we're working on. So thank you guys for coming. Yeah. Oh, one more thing, real quick.
In answer to the question also, why and why the partnership and why this is so important and how the Guardian Angels fit in. As Guardian Angels, we are community activists that volunteer basically all over the world. We're in the community all the time. We don't carry weapons. We don't have arrest powers. We're just citizens to go out and do what it is we do. But we also have to make sure that every Guardian Angel on the planet trains in de-escalation tactics. And, we've been here 10 years. We haven't had a physical altercation. But we train ourselves in conflict resolution. When it comes to mental illness problems, we run into people in the communities all the time that come up to us and talk about their kids. And a lot of the parents complain about the fact that their kids are on medication. They don't know what medication, they don't know why. And when we spoke to Guy, things kind of came full circle. Like he said, it was all about timing. The best thing about the Baltimore City Police Department is we've had a relationship since we restarted this chapter. What I like now under these commanders is that these guys do think outside the box, with not only educating the Baltimore City Police Department, but also tying the community in as well, which is a big thing with the Guardian Angels. It's not about going out there and enforcing everything. It's about education, communication, and awareness. So this is a perfect time for this. And one of the things that Curtis Sleewater, founder of the Guardian Angels, wants to do is to take whatever footprint we put here today or is created because of what we're starting and then duplicate it across the country in other Guardian Angel chapters. So this is actually going to be the blueprint of a program that we hope that we can take nationally and then again maybe globally. Mental illness crosses all boundaries.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.